Hello, I'm Laurie from Inner Spirit Photography. So glad you could join us. I'm a bit different than the other people who are here. I specialize in doing nude photography. Well, it can be boudoir photography. And it's designed to transform you, to turn you into something more spectacular, to step into who you are. And it's wonderful. We do sessions that have makeup and hair. We go through all sorts of set building and posing and so on. And to kick it off, before I start telling you more about myself, I'm going to bring Pauline in. And Pauline has actually been through all this. And so how long after your divorce did you do this?
Almost 2 years.
So it's 2 years.
Yeah.
That's kind of an average thing. I guess it gives you time to settle things down.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of get it and figure out who I was.
How's that working out?
Good.
That's
Good.
great. So if you could tell them, when you started, how nervous were you when you thought of the idea? What started you to get the idea? Why did you do that?
Well, I had heard about you and I looked at your website and I thought, okay, this is something I just always wanted to do. And I decided I was going to try it. I met you in person. Thought you seemed like a nice person. Met Fran, who was your wife, and knew that I was going to be comfortable. But then when it all started to happen, the day we were doing it, I was so scared.
And what pushed you through? Like, what was the? Because you're scared and you're going to do this terrifying thing, but what kind of?
You acted like it was just so normal. And then before I knew it, actually, at one point, we were changing the sets around and I realized I was just standing there completely naked and didn't think anything of it.
It's a magical place in the studio. What was your favorite shot in the studio?
I brought my motorcycle. So I actually have some poses on my motorcycle and it's my bike.
We have a pretty big studio. One of the nice things is the floor is heated, so it's very warm. We got a process that makes everyone becomes comfortable. That probably astounded you how comfortable you were.
Yeah.
Now you were, because that's one of the things that's triggered is your whole weight loss thing, because you've been working out.
Yeah, so I did the photo shoot, and then I decided this is it. I'm really ready for my life, and then I went ahead and started a weight loss, and I've lost almost 30 pounds since that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So photography is pretty powerful. It does alter how you see yourself and how you approach the world.
Yeah.
And how does it affect your sexiness? How do you feel about that?
Oh, I feel fantastic, and I don't, I just feel great being single, and I like looking at the pictures.
Have you showed them to people?
I have been showing them to people. And at first I was a little nervous, and there's a couple with the boudoir types that I love showing off. I think I just look fantastic.
In the course of our photo sessions, we'll go from full nude right back to lingerie, even a glamorous type of shot. So you have this full range of things you can kind of play with. And you're off on a date tonight as well. Yeah, it's kind of a wild thing. Have other people seen the images?
Yes.
Nudes?
Yeah. So, a couple friends have seen them, and some close friends, so even some men.
Great. Well, thank you for stopping in.
Thank you.
And it's a pleasure. I'm looking forward to photographing you again with your new shape.
Right.
Take care.
All right.
So as we mentioned in the studio, our studio is about 800 square feet. And this is one of the bedroom sets we play with. So you can go from fully dressed to fully nude. It's completely kind of optional how you work with. People get amazed because when you're going through a photo shoot, if it's done properly, someone is guiding you to poses rather than say, oh, go out there and look pretty. And we have this process, it's called the heartbeat process, where you come in and you start off kind of terrified, but you're going to try making this phone call conversation, and then you make that and you go, oh, this is going to be a bad idea. And you come in and talk to us and go, well, they seem like nice people. This could actually work. And then you leave going, what have I done? I'm not going to do nudes. This is horrible. And then you come into the studio. My wife, Jen, does the hair and the makeup. All of a sudden, you see the back of the camera. You're going, wow, I look pretty amazing. And you leave again feeling incredible. So we have this heartbeat process. This is one of our fire sets. We have unusual sets we work with. That is real flame that's not photoshopped in. The cool thing we work with is body painting as well. So we have these really, really wild arrangements of things you can kind of get into. And then we have the nudes. And of course, this is PG TV. So it's not a nude, but it's close to it. This is one of our very popular poses. We kind of get into it. When you're doing a nude session or want to do a boudoir photography session, whether you come to us or somebody else, you should ask a few questions. How long have you been in business? In our case, it's 40 years. We've been doing it since the industry started, actually. You'll want to know what the space is like. What's going to happen to the photographs afterwards? Are they retouched? Who processes them? These are really important kind of considerations. You want to be sure that this is going to be comfortable. So always make sure that you've met the person you're going to photograph you and you've seen their work, not the stuff on the website, actual prints. Do they retouch? Do they look after post-production? Those kind of things are really important. And get a vibe for the people, not just come on in, let's get you photographed and get you out the door. You want to create a relationship. You want to communicate what you're going to do and how that's going to go. So one of the things you want to know about your photographers, how good are they? Like, besides saying I got this camera, you want to know a bit about them. In our case, we're the most awarded photographer in my field in the continent. Actually, I even have photographs in outer space in the Voyager 3 space mission, which I think is kind of cool. We have photographed women in more than 16 countries. We have taught around the world. We've done so much. It's so much fun. The awards are neat. We photograph our clients, and that's what we enter with. So we don't go to great lengths and have exotic photographs. We actually use our clients' images to win the awards, and these are clients who give us permission to work with them. Now, there's so much we can talk about that's so cool, but one of the important things when you're doing this is you're going to be coming out of a space where perhaps your self-esteem has been damaged, how you feel about yourself isn't as good as it could be. What we do is transform that. So we had one client actually, she was so scared, so nervous. When she left, she almost walked out of the studio naked because she felt so comfortable, which was really a blast. It was kind of comical. We had a client that came into us, she was going to the photo session for a 15th anniversary. On the Saturday night when she was expecting to get ready, she walks in and he is packing his bags. He's decided he's met his soulmate and it's his blonde secretary. And she's crying. She tells her friend who helped us book it, I cancel it. Her friend says, no, you've got to come to the studio. She comes in. Makeup took 2 hours because she cried an awful lot. And my wife, Jan, just said, just don't rub, you'll be fine. By the time the photo shoot was finished, she had transformed herself and she had left it. She says, great, he wants to go fine. I am something to behold. And she had this whole dynamic energy about her and the confidence. And that's what delivers confidence. When you're out of here, you've got a sense about your body, your sexiness, your beauty. All those things are very powerful. And on that note, I'm going to bring in Barb. So Barb, we photographed you right after you discovered you're getting divorced?
I got served with my divorce papers right before Christmas. And I was researching photographers because I was in the matchmaking industry for, at that time, 24, almost 25 years.
Yeah.
And I knew he was the best, 40 years at it. And when that happened, it was kind of like, oh, now what? So I decided to take the positive route. And since I was researching for clients, I thought, what better research? I'll try it myself. So I was the heaviest I'd ever been. And I think, like, I don't know what I'm doing. I didn't plan this. And I went into the studio, and I think you joked that I came in with more clothes than any other woman. I'm very conservative. And he's like, you know where this goes. And I'm like, And we spent, what was it, 4 or 5 hours? It was a winter day. It was February 18th.
Heated floor, yeah.
February 18th, 2018. I'll never forget it. And I was setting up my intention, my manifestation of bringing in love to me.
Right.
So in order to find love, I had to love myself. So I was looking at my body in these photos, and at the end, like you say, you just lose sight that you're nude. And then that day was like a storm. It was crazy.
It was really wild. The beauty of what we do is all the lights are turned off except for the lights on the studio, on the set. So you really feel a three-dimensional set. So we have bedrooms and staircases and stone ruins and red rock canyons and badass alleys and those kind of things with it. Now, after we did your photo shoot, we also did you and your daughter.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that was a whole different texture.
You are not only an expert in this kind of, you are great with animals, children, families, and families stay with you for years and years and years.
Do.
So that was the appeal.
We actually have got, besides being a master photographer, we got 37 accreditations. We actually hold an International Photographer of the Year Award for photographing kids, which isn't well known. We also hold the Canadian Portrait Photographer of the Year, which is kind of wild. But you've got such a wild daughter. It's so neat. What happens with kids, this is an important thing to understand, is there's been documentation, like down in the States, they did a study that if the people who join gangs, one of the common denominators is they've never had a family photograph taken. Now, if you've gone through a divorce and you've got children, that's being redesigned. Old family photographs don't work anymore. And so for kids, seeing a new bonding photograph is really, really powerful. And the photographs of nudes and of semi-nudes and of casual style, those are dynamic. So what was the scariest thing when you started doing the photo shoot?
Just driving there. You know, the storm and the clenching on, the vehicle.
That's right.
Like, what am I doing? And then, of course, I had bags that I was hauling in.
Now, the second stage is when people come in to see our work, it's not done on on a small screen, we see them 4 feet by 5 feet.
It's huge.
When you saw them the first time, how'd you feel when you saw the images for the first time?
So the thing with Mark is we did a session of 150
Photographs,
clicks.
yeah.
I liked 101 of them. And then out of 101, I picked 51.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of outfits and a lot of everything, but I still look at those with awe. And I know when you're separating and divorcing, I know as a matchmaker, you're going to go 2 steps forward and 1 step back.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you're feeling like no one wants you, you're single, oh my gosh, you're 52 years old, at least you can look at these photos and go, well, you know, that's what I got. That's what I'm working with. What is the positive?
Super.
And there is positive.
There's a lot
and
to it.
It helped me regain my self-image.
Sweet.
You know, so
Thank you so much for stopping in.
Yeah, thanks.
So that's what we do. It's very, very powerful. It's very exciting. It's transforming. That's one of the key things we have. Our tagline is empower, embrace, and be glorious. And thank you for coming.